All right. Hello, hello, hello. We are back with episode 25 of the Cooler Guild. I'm your host, Coop, and joined with me, as always, is my co-host, Van.
Hello.
We are recording on Tuesday, February 4th, 2025. This will be the first true preseason show where we'll be recapping the Raid's off-season moves, giving our thoughts on the current roster heading into the 2025 season, as well as covering some other news from the club and in the woso world. Also, we're doing a new thing with our recording methods today, so
This is an experiment.
fingers crossed. We're hoping that this can kind of make things easy if we want to upload video in the future. Maybe this episode will be uploaded. Who knows?
Who knows?
Maybe it'll turn out perfect. I don't fucking know. It won't be perfect, but maybe it'll be good enough to upload. I don't know. But we're trying to get going on YouTube. And if things start going well and all that stuff, we'll upgrade our cameras and make sure we're beautiful for everybody.
Yeah.
The only thing that's stopping me from beautiful is the camera. Anyways, what's going on with you?
Oh, God. It's busy.
Yeah.
USL is kicking up with scheduling and all of that. We're doing a tryout. Yeah, so we partnered with Lexington, the USL Super League club, and we're doing like a joint pro/W League tryout here in Olympia.
Sweet.
So that'll be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a lot. We're getting geared up, ready to go for the summer. Yeah, work, life. My chess league has really been going off. I'm playing in 2 games on the live stream on Twitch tomorrow night. What about you?
Well, I got back from Mexico not too long ago. Went to, I think it's pronounced Holbox. It's spelled like Holbox, though, if you're an English primarily speaking person. So I went there for like a little bit over a week. It was great. Weather didn't really cooperate, but there was a cat there at the hotel we stayed at.
I know, she looked so cute.
Her name was Lechuga.
Lettuce.
Yeah, the like manager of the hotel was like, Lechuga's been looking for you. Like, I never see her over here because our like room was a little bit further away from like most of the rooms. And so she's like, I never see Lechuga over here, but she's wandering to try to find you in the mornings now. She's a very good cat. She was just loved to like lay down in the sun and lay down in like little dirt spots around the hotel.
She was white, but you could tell that she like definitely loved to.
She's a little dirty, like dirt girl, but like she was like drinking the pool water. And then like there's like a little island where there's some like little loungers in the middle of the pool, and she like would hop over the water to go lay on those chairs. And then there's like little plants around the pool area, and she would like lay in the dirt around those. You know, after hanging out with her for a week and then petting my cat like at home, I was like, man, my cat is like really clean and soft. But yeah, I'd like to go back there when it's not raining all the time, because I don't know. There's a lot of cool stuff on the island we didn't get to do because we weren't there for the right time of year. But you know, vacations line up with what you can work with anyways. But they have like flamingos sometimes, and then they have whale sharks that you can go swim with and stuff.
Hell yeah. You know I love a whale and a shark.
Anyways, we should get into what's going on with the team. But first, some housekeeping. We want to remind people that
The Cooler Guild is part of the Sounder at Heart podcast network. You can either listen to us on our public feed, or if you're a Sounder at Heart subscriber, on the private unified feed with the other podcasts on the network. If you'd like to become a subscriber, just visit our page at sounderatheart.com/the Cooler Guild. New subscribers get 10% off the normal rate, and you'll help support everything we're doing here.
got a few preseason stuff to go over. I think the first one, just because we kind of want to get a good recap on what we're working with heading into the season, because there's been a lot of movement, like a lot. Yeah. And we knew this was coming. We knew there was going to be a mass exodus and need to bring in some new players, and that happens. Notable contracts. I want to also shout out Susie from Ride of the Valkyries for doing some good articles on covering some of these acquisitions. But the notable ones we got: Lynn Biondolo, formerly known as Lynn Williams, Lou Barnes, Maddie Mercado, Madison Curry, who was acquired as a free agent out of Angel City FC, and Cassie Miller. We got some new acquisitions that will be rookies: forward Maddie Deline and defender Emily Mason. What do we think of just those?
Out of all of those?
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of people to be bringing in. Do you think these are people you're excited about? Do you think these are going to like be the quality that we've been missing?
I think Lynn Biondolo definitely is going to add that, other element that we were missing that she actually pointed out, in talking on her podcast after the initial signing. I think one that, I talked about Cassie Miller before on the last episode. I really think Madison Curry is going to be a new starting player on the team. I mean, last season was her rookie season and she played well. And so coming in could really use, another solid player to get Latsko, back into, the forward arena where she can be productive.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. I know that you've looked into Deline more than I have, but Emily Mason, I think once Lou Barnes is gone, I mean, Emily Mason's 22. Sure, she hasn't played in the league yet, but if she comes in and she can really play the way that I saw her play in the U20 World Cup, we're going to be fine.
Which is good because we need to improve back there.
Well, and having Lou Barnes for that extra season, I think might have been part of the plan with that.
Trying to like pass the torch kind of thing.
Oh, just to have that seniority and experience for these younger players.
Yeah.
Because we obviously know that McLaren can step in.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. So it just adds that extra element to help these players transition into the league and be a success when they start.
Yeah, I think there's going to be rotation with that just because a lot of these young players that we're getting are going to be called up for these, U20, some of these other camps where they're just like testing things out. But a lot of them have history with
the youth national team.
Yeah, so they're going to be looked at, right? No matter what. I feel like once you kind of have that mark, it's very beneficial for your career, obviously. And Emma Hayes, I think, is kind of interested in also looking at the youth because I think a big issue we had with the U.S. women's national team when we weren't quote unquote elite was because we weren't trying to incorporate some of these younger future stars early enough. So I think a lot of these players that maybe we're acquiring, they've got a lot to prove. And I also think Emma Hayes is a coach that will give them chances. Not all of them, obviously, but a few of them will be hopefully getting their moments over the next few years.
Yeah, and from a business standpoint, right? You're getting these two young players in with this experience, with futures camp, with all of that. If they end up playing well, or they get senior caps for the national team, their price goes way up.
Yeah. Invest in it. Yep, it's certainly an investment.
It's definitely an investment, and it's a smart one.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'll get into maybe the questions that we should maybe have about that later. But going into just the roster situation,
I will say one thing. I want to add one thing. I watched the entire highlight video for Emily Mason today. If you have a chance, go watch it. It's on YouTube. If she can play like that at a high level, like the NWSL, other teams are going to be in trouble. She can score goals, but she also can take people out in the back.
Do you think she's going to... Because it sounds like she's played a couple of positions, and it seems like our center back situation is like solid. I mean, obviously, I think if we're doing rotation, we're going to need someone like her sliding back there. But I would say like right back situation, like do you think she's going to slide back to one of those positions, or do you think she's more of like a center defensive mid?
From what I think, she played centrally a lot in college. But I think that's another thing with the national team. Players are constantly having to, be versatile.
She's at that age kind of where sometimes Laura Harvey sees a player and she just like thinks that they're better suited for different places. So something to keep an eye on. I wouldn't say she's locked into center back.
No, definitely. And with Ryan Brown still out, we're going to have some movement in those outside positions. Though I think Maddie Curry is going to be in one of those slots pretty easily.
Got anything else on those?
No, that was it.
I think it's notable. We probably should at least mention like we're going to have a full preseason with all of the mid-season signings that we got from last year, which is kind of important, I would say.
I know, it's so crazy. Like it felt so long that we've had these players because the last season just felt like it was forever.
Yeah. They didn't really get like time to really, get their feet under them and like
acclimate.
Now,
what's that?
Yeah, and now they're going to be able to do that. So with just a reminder of those players, AMC, Bug, Mondesir, McCammon, and Hannah Glass. I'm glad that the team can kind of all mesh together now for full preseason.
And you can tell, I mean, it was rough seeing a lot of those players go because they've been part of the team for so long and felt like almost like the soul of the team, if you will.
Yeah, it's hard. You get attached to players, yeah.
Yeah, it's having an identity crisis and trying to fix it now.
One other thing to know, Lily Woodham, she got her loan extended with Crystal Palace at the end of June. Will it get more extended later?
I don't know. If she enjoys it, that'd be a good place for her.
We don't have a lot of spots on the roster, so I just don't... I mean, if they can find a place for her to stay, I think that's the best case scenario.
Which is sad because, like, that first game she played, I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
like, this might be really good. And then it just went downhill after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when I was putting together lineups for something that we'll talk about later on in the episode, I did notice something that has been brought up multiple times. We are probably going to need to add a midfielder or two.
Yeah, I read the interview that Susie did with Leslie Gallimore, GM for Reign, and she made mention of, like, they're probably going to be looking for midfielders, which I would say that means they are looking for midfielders.
Yeah.
So if we can, I guess the question is, will they be trying to throw some money down for a midfielder? Or do we think we have enough to be good and then we're just trying to find somebody to kind of strengthen the bench? I wouldn't mind going and spending money.
There's just a lot of age in our midfield and a lot of, like, unproven players that we haven't really seen enough of. So sure, you can bring somebody in, but then you're like, okay, Maddie Mercado. We saw some really good things at her, but she didn't have a lot of time. You know, you get Meza in there who came back from Dallas. If you bring somebody in that's, like, going to be a starting player off the bat, those players are going to lose out and we might miss something that would be potentially really good for us in the long run.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's a delicate balance.
Yeah, I mean, if they were to go and spend money, it wouldn't be till the summer anyways.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of room on the roster. We still need a third backup goalkeeper, right? We still need, like, that third goalkeeper on the roster. And I think that there are some positions where we just don't, like, I would say there's some players that maybe could be starting in some teams. And if they're not going to get those minutes here, I don't think they want to be with us. That's how you make room for somebody else. When I'm looking at this team and thinking, like, you know, like, we're going to get Huerta back and, like, we need to still get this goalkeeper. It seems like at least one or two players in this team might not still be here come the summer transfer window, which is fine. I'm not. I think we've set up a situation in which everyone's going to need to be competing, and I think that's all you can really hope for going into a season.
Yeah, definitely a lot more bright of an outlook going into this season than the last one.
Yeah, I mean, we came off the championship, but then, like, it was the championship game. We didn't win it, obviously, but they lost Pino in the most heartbreaking fashion, and then that was the heart of the team gone.
And you go to Gotham, and you go to Gotham.
Yeah, and then all those traitors, which doesn't seem like things are going great at Gotham anyways. So, anyways.
Karma's a bitch.
Okay, well, I guess all that wrapped up, I wanted to ask, who are you most hyped for on this roster so far?
I mean, the obvious answer is Biondolo.
Mm-hmm.
I want to watch Lynn Cook in Seattle. Something I never thought I'd see. Also, Olo. Olo's been at practice.
Mm-hmm.
Olivia Vanderyacht took last year off for personal reasons. But they still kept her, and she's been back at training, and I think she could be a really important part of the midfield.
I mean, Fishlock had talked about when she was playing and got into this league, and she was just like, you know, U.S. national team needs to look at her. She's, like, extremely underrated and everything. Yeah, but it seems like the club supported her, so I think that's got to be good for your mental health as well, to at least know that, you know, your team is backing you and still believes in you as a player. It was never about her playing quality or anything like that. It's just life has things. So
yeah, life has things, and super cool to see her back at practice. And I hope that, you know, she comes back into the game and can find success for herself and for us. And not to drag this on any longer, but also Ryan Brown coming back.
Yeah,
I've seen that she's slated for a return this summer, whenever that may be. They did put out a video about her and her recovery process, and just the training room, everything, like, from this video seemed like a huge upgrade for the team as a whole with this new ownership group.
Yeah, and they got the new facility or the upgraded facilities. So that's nice.
So hopefully she can get back on. I don't know. Mine are kind of boring. I mean, what about you?
For me, I am most hyped for Bug. Jordan Bug. I mean, we just got a taste of it, and I'm ready to see her start all year. I think she's ready for it. I think she's everything we had been missing in the back line since Cook kind of went downhill. So
when we first initially signed her and McCammon, what were your thoughts?
I didn't really know what to think.
Yeah.
Right? I was just like, I'm hearing a lot of hype, but like I was kind of like, it's a young center back. Like, how good can she be? You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're like, oh, we're signing children. Got it.
Yeah, which, like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, there's these, like, prodigy forwards or prodigy, like, wing backs or whatever, right? But, like, to have someone who's that composed as a center back just surprised the shit out of me. Like, I was not prepared for it. So, seeing someone this composed back there is just, like, blows my mind. And that's why I am so stoked for it.
And she's only getting better, which is terrifying for everyone else.
Yeah, I know. It's great. I love it. McCammon, it's, I'm still hearing great things about her, but she hasn't really been given her chance yet. So
yeah, that was TBD.
Yeah. My other one that I'm hyped for, Maddie Deline. I went and watched some like videos on her because there's a bunch of new stuff about her. She's from Minnesota, and you know how Minnesotans love to get excited about their own people.
Yep.
Interesting fact about her, she swept the 100, 200, 400 meter races at state in high school in both her freshman and junior year. And then her senior year, she won the 200 meter and the long jump. I don't know. She just got inspired to do the long jump, I guess. I'm not sure. But I guess she was like mad about her, like she was like mad about her soccer team like not winning everything, so she just like took it out on running. She was just like, well, I can run, so I'm just gonna fucking do it. And then she just like won all these fucking things, which like good for you. And then with her high school team, she got total while she was there 92 goals, 43 assists. And then at North Carolina for college, she drew 6 penalties, and the Reigns have signed her for a 3-year contract. So I think this is the real deal. I am stoked. It sounds like she is very fast, in case you couldn't tell by the stats of her.
At least Minnesota fast.
Yeah. What is that?
I don't know.
Okay, it's a new thing. But there was like, there's maybe speculation that she was going to even do track, like be a dual sport athlete in college. And if she really wanted to put her focuses on running, she could have been an Olympian. Don't know if you know this, but the Reign have been kind of missing some speed.
Wow.
So I am very much looking forward to someone like her being on the team and also getting some education and tips and training in with Biandolo. Yes, please. I'm pretty hyped on her.
Yeah, that's somebody that probably I could speculate saw a lot of herself in Lynn.
Yeah.
And so being able to learn from somebody like that would be incredible.
It'd be so cool. Yeah. Yeah, I'm stoked. Since we mentioned so many young players, I guess my question for you is, do you think that the youth players that we have on this team and everything, do you think they're ready to be championship contenders?
I think that's yet to be seen.
We haven't seen like super young teams win at all, right?
Right. And I wouldn't say we're a super young team. I mean, there's a big spread of ages.
There is. We are in a new era, I would say, of the league of having people this young coming in. And usually when we see teams doing really well, making big runs, I wouldn't say they have as many young players as we do. It seems like we're really investing in the future, and that's why I'm wondering, do you think we can actually contend this year? Do you think there's enough balance with it?
It's tough to speculate at this point. Most teams that we've seen make long runs, like you were talking about, into the playoffs, usually have like a very core group of veteran or younger veteran players. I would argue that we kind of have that still.
My only counter argument to that is I don't know about the chemistry of those players together still.
Right. So that's why I'm saying it's hard to speculate just because there's so many unknowns. But if what we've been excited about comes to fruition, then I think that we do have a chance.
I mean, why not?
Why not?
Why not?
But I can say Jordan Bug, definitely ready to be a champion.
We have a forward who's won the most championships for a single player now on our team, so that doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt at all.
No, with some of the, we talked a little bit last episode about G. G's kind of getting back into the rhythm or into a rhythm. And if that shows up, if Adames get Meza in there, we could have some breakout stars this season.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like there's just one person that has the potential to be a breakout star, too. I think that's the part that I'm most excited about. It seems like any one of these signings that we've been kind of listing off, other teams would be hyping the shit out of them, and we just happen to have a bunch of them. So I think that's the part where I'm just this seems like it can't. Is it too good to be true? Probably. But maybe in a couple of years, I don't know. But have we really just hit everything? If we have, everyone better be scared. And a lot of these players have also been getting reps in together on the youth teams for a little while, so they know each other. Mm-hmm. That should help. I don't know. Crazier things have happened.
But I think too, there's going to be so much competition for each spot that you're really going to see the best out of a lot of these players.
That's what you want,
as long as it's a positive, competitive training environment.
Yeah, which it sounds like so far it's sounding that way, which is great because with the team being for sale still last season and not having that completed, going into preseason and everything, it just seems like the vibes weren't there maybe for competing at an elite level.
No, and I was thinking about this earlier, and I think that the word that I would use to describe a lot of the air around the team and just the vibe a lot of last season was stale.
I think that's fair. I think it's more than fair.
We are not stale anymore.
Not at all. I think I got a team that I'm looking forward to actually analyzing, which I cannot say was the case. Maybe 4 games into last year, it was just oh, here we go again.
Well, let's start a podcast.
That'll bring us good luck. It did not. Kind of on that note, our rumors that were unfounded about Sam Lady maybe joining the coaching staff did not come to fruition. Sam Lady, congrats to him. I mean, it's an interim role, but he's going to be the interim head coach at Angel City FC. And as Reign fans and Sam Lady fans, I feel like I wanted to at least note that.
And they announced it. Angel City announced it in the most weird way. It was at the end of an article about their new training facility. Yeah, I texted the FC Olympia sporting director, and I was like, because he's friends with Sam.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, congrats to Sam. I saw that he's interim head coach at Angel City. And he's like, hang on. And he texted Sam. Apparently Sam didn't know it was public yet.
Classic.
So that was kind of funny. I was like, yep, it's definitely in that article.
Also related to some free agents that we had, Quinn and Nikki Stanton aren't going too far. They're going to the new Canadian League, which is very exciting. They'll be joining Vancouver Rise, which if you're in the Washington area, it's the closest team you can get. That's pretty neat. And also Jasmine Spencer, you probably recognize that name from the Reign, is also going to be joining that team. So I'm going to be very curious to see how these teams play. Yeah. Also, can we get a friendly setup?
That's what I was thinking.
I would love that. Let's get a friendly setup. Hosted at Starfire even.
Ooh.
That'd be fun. Yes. All right.
I'd be into that.
I'll call Leslie. Let her know. I think one thing, if anyone from Reign is listening, I want to say, can you get on Bluesky, please?
Please.
You're overdue by a while, but anytime's better than never.
So we're going to do some community questions and hot takes. But first, we want to thank our sponsor.
We want to thank TDO, the Doctor's Office. The Doctor's Office is a great little 12-seat bar in Capitol Hill. The owner is a big fan of the rain and is proud to be our very first sponsor. We love you, Matt.
Love you, Matt. So why don't you go warm up on a chilly day with a slow burn, one of TDO's limited edition cocktails. The slow burn combines smoky mezcal, cognac, pineapple, spicy ancho reyes verde, and bright cilantro. A spiced cayenne cinnamon sugar rim lingers like the memory of a slow burning romance. Ooh la la.
Ooh la la.
I was really excited to read that.
Yep, I know. Check out their Instagram at TDO Seattle, or better yet, go drink there in person.
And they have updated their website, so there's pictures of the drinks, and it's very lovely.
Yeah, you should go check out their menu on there. They always got limited edition cocktails. I think I need to reach out to Matt. We need to get our own cocktail for this podcast so people can go celebrate us. Anyways, cheers.
Cheers.
We reached out to the Discord. Our van reached out to the Discord and wanted to see if there's any stuff the community wants us to cover.
Yeah, we did get some. And if you're not on the Discord, get on it. It's great. sounderheart.com/Cooler Guild. Subscribe. At a certain tier, you get access to the Discord.
Anyways, we got a hot take segment, I guess, right? We're doing hot takes?
Yeah, so Steve asked, give us your hottest hot take on the imminent doom of the league losing some stars and adding others.
Should I go first?
Yeah, why don't you start it off? I've got some thoughts, but you go ahead.
I think it's great. I would fucking leave if I could. You're telling me I can leave this country? Sign me up. Sign me up. I also, on top of that, so beyond the fact that I want to leave this country if there's an option, don't like, have we thought about how beneficial it is for our players to be playing different styles of football? I don't think it's beneficial for all of our players, our star players, whatever. And it's also not that many players, if we're being honest. But I think it's beneficial for them to go and play different styles, because I just think you're, like you said the word earlier, stale. I think maybe there's a potential for the U.S. Women's National Team to get stale if we all stay in this league. So I'm all for it. I like it. I would leave. Also, like, go do your study abroad, basically. Like, get over there, enjoy your baguettes, enjoy your cup of teas. I don't know. What else do people do in England? There's like a two-story bus.
Go eat some beans on toast.
Yeah. Not bad. Gonna go ahead and put it out there. Not bad.
Not bad.
I'm on board. I like it. And I also think, if we're gonna even go into this more, if your player from your club is going there for free, then someone fucked up. Someone fucked up. Because, like, I would want to go there, obviously, but, like, if you're smart enough, then you should fucking, like, if you have a player that you know has those ambitions to go over there and try something new, wants to go do that, then, like, lock them down for a long contract and then get that transfer fee. Because this is how we can get more money into the league. It sucks. I don't know what about the ramifications as far as, like, we can't compete with those transfer fees. We, like, literally cannot compete with them in this league. So that's kind of a bummer. But I don't know. Maybe these transfers over there can help the league get the money that we need to kind of change those rules.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I want to start my argument off my opinion off with something Bethany Balser tweeted today. Somebody said to her, well, she responded to this tweet that said, "Aren't you all going nuts right now because star players are going to Europe?" And Bethany Balser quote tweeted it and said, "No, because the NWSL is full of stars, even if they are on national teams."
That's right.
And I agree with that. And it was bound to happen, right? The WSL is growing. They've got a big following over there. They want to bring big stars in, just like we want to bring big stars in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not an imminent doom.
Not at all.
If anything, that's like saying that the less roster spots you have available, the better players you're going to get. That's not true. Right? The more women that we can get playing soccer professionally, the better it is for the game as a whole. And if that happens, that there's a roster spot that opens up because somebody goes to play in Europe, hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's never a bad thing. And hopefully fans of these teams, right? These big name players going overseas, they're not going to be like, oh, I'm not going to go to the game anymore because so-and-so's not there, right? I mean, I may have only gone to watch San Diego games because of Naomi Girma. I get that. But that's such a that's such a different situation because she is legitimately one of the best players in the world right now.
Yeah.
She got the hell out of San Diego.
Yeah. San Diego's in a bad situation, right? Why would you want to be there? And they got $1.1 million out of it.
Yeah. I don't think losing, let's see, we've got a list here. Crystal Dunn to PSG, Girma to Chelsea, Caroline to City, Neiswanger to Arsenal, Huerta's still on loan to Lyon. But we've talked about this, right? Huerta is only going to get more experience, a more diverse playing style, right? So it's only good for us in the end. And
that list also isn't long.
So I think it's an overreaction calling it impending doom.
Yeah, for sure.
But yes, some players are leaving. But we're also picking up players from Liga MX into NWSL, right? We're getting more African players into the league, which has blown up for the league, right?
It's true.
So I think it's a very myopic view of this entire situation to think that like losing players to Europe is somehow going to ruin the league.
Yeah. Or even ruin the national team, right? I think that's what some people are also worried about, is the national team not being as elite. Players and the nationalities that are in a lot of those leagues we're talking about France. France is usually a very good team. A lot of English players are obviously playing in England. You want to be able to like compete with them. And then there's a lot of Dutch players also in the English league. How are you supposed to like learn those playing styles or like see how they play if you don't play against them? Staying in one league doesn't give you that experience.
Right. And do you think Naomi Girma is going to come back to the national team and be like, I can't spill dirt on these players? No. No, she's a fucking competitor.
They also get to, obviously some of those fields that they play on aren't great, but they're not on turf.
Yeah.
And I say this as a fan of a team that does play on turf. So, and then there was like the whole thing when Lindsay, what does she go by now? Not Lindsay Horan. I think she still uses Lindsay Horan for her jersey name, whatever. And Lindsay Horan left for Lyon, full transfer from Portland or whatever. But like Portland, the best elite team, whatever in the league, they still made their women's team train on the turf. So they were training on the turf. They were also playing on the turf for all their games. Meanwhile, their men's side was training on grass at a different facility or whatever. But like Horan had mentioned, like, I get to go to Europe and then like everything's grass. I get the nice facilities, all that stuff. Obviously, it's not the case for all the teams in those leagues over there, but like there are premier facilities at some of these places and they get access to things that maybe you can't get at some clubs in the NWSL. I don't see any reason to be up in arms about these moves at all.
No, I think for me it's more exciting than anything else.
I think the only thing I would question is how are the teams. I don't think it has anything to do with players. I just think that like the league may need to change some of the rules as far as salaries and transfer fees that are allowed and all that stuff. Maybe they can do like a DP type situation like they do in MLS.
They're going to need to figure out a way to compete on the international level with these transfers and with the amount of money that these English teams are paying for the most elite players. But just like the NWSL, there's a huge salary discrepancy, right? And I think even more in the WSL than the NWSL is there is a huge discrepancy between last place and first place. Massive. You think, when you think of WSL as an American who maybe only watches 1 or 2 games a year, right? You're thinking that City Arsenal like matchup or Arsenal Chelsea. You're thinking of like 3 teams, right? There's not just 3 teams in that league. The fact that people think that their level of play is so much better, I challenge you to watch the lower table teams in that league play against the Chelseas, play against the Arsenals, the Cities,
Yeah.
And the Uniteds at this point. Ella Toon is like going off at United right now.
And Fallon.
And with Fallon Tolles-Joyce, yeah.
If we start seeing success with these clubs and the attention that they bringing in these American players, then that only makes the sport stronger. And that's what I support, number one. I'm all for it.
I agree.
Send them all.
And me.
Yeah, and this is the caveat is I am also have to go.
Thank you for listening to the Sounder at Heart Podcast Network, which now includes Nos Arietes, Lobbing Scorchers, and the Cooler Guild. We've been independent since August of 2023, but need your support to make sure it continues. Although this podcast is free, it's only made possible by your continued support. Memberships start as low as $25 a year, which not only helps make podcasts like this one happen, but also gets you access to everything we produce. If you're able to support us at higher levels, starting at $75 a year, you gain access to a host of other perks, most notably entry into our members-only Discord, where the smartest, funniest, and most engaged commenters share their thoughts and ideas. To find out more, just visit sounderatheart.com and click the subscribe button in the top right corner. Thanks for listening.
So the next one we got was from Matthew. He said, give us a best guess starting 11 and a spicy starting 11. You had a list.
I do have a list. My best guess is kind of also the spicy 11. I put it as kind of a 4-5-1 just for ease sake. This is my list. This is my list for a starting 11, first game of the year.
Well,
minus one player who I would have to switch out. But here's the list I came up with. Starting goalkeeper, Cassie Miller. Left back, Ryan Brown. Center backs, McLaren and Bug. Right back, Curry. Diamond or triangle midfield, Vandergat, Fishlock, and G up top. Left outside, Haidema. Right outside, Adames with Biandolo up top. And set that up how you will, but
I mean, I think in that situation you can switch Haidema and Adames, but they can kind of just flip back and forth like they do.
Yeah, and that wouldn't be like a flat thing. I think it would be like kind of a roving two top, depending on what side of the field the ball was on.
I think the only one I would maybe switch out, this is maybe a little controversial, I might start Meza. I want to get her off and running this season, and I want to put Meza in.
Well, I think Meza's going to be a Fishlock sub.
Yeah.
Because Fishlock's not going to play the whole game.
That's why I would maybe start her over Fishlock and then bring in Fishlock.
Yeah, you can do that.
I think Fishlock's got that feistiness off the bench. And then the Cassie Miller is obviously an interesting one.
You know, the other outside back options.
Well, you got Latsko, maybe.
I don't think Latsko is going to play in the back. We've got too many options back there. I think it's probably going to be Shea Holmes.
I mean,
if I'm guessing who would start in that back line, it would be Holmes
with Harvey. Yeah.
With Harvey, yeah.
I would put Latsko in there. If I'm trying to get Latsko on the field and that's the only place she can go, I'm putting her on.
Yeah.
Anyone else you want to throw in there? And starting Mondesir maybe?
Yeah, Mondesir.
Instead of Adames?
Yeah, you could switch out Adames with Mondesir, Fishlock for Meza. Yeah.
I don't hate that lineup. I mean, the bench is going to be interesting because that's where we're really going to see if these young players are up for the task.
Yeah.
Because the lineup you just gave is, a majority of our, experienced players. The experienced players, minus a few. It does seem like our bench is going to be heavy on the youth talent.
Yeah, I really hope Laura Harvey learns how to sub this year.
I was like, I don't know. I mean, the thing is like if you want to develop these kids, like you do need to give them some meaningful minutes. You can't just throw them in for like 5 minutes at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But that was my projection or my hopes and dreams. I don't know.
What was this thing from Mongolian barbecue? Do you think our youth starting 11 is better than our traditional starting 11? Is that what he's trying to ask?
I don't know. Is he saying if we put all of our youth players on, would they be better than all of our non-youth players?
I don't think so.
No.
I think it's an interesting thing maybe to think about beyond that, but I would say no. I would say that because of Biandolo.
Yeah.
Like I think she's running through all of them for sure. Maybe Maddie can catch up to her. Beyond that, I don't know if anyone's keeping up with her. I guess Bug is Bug gonna like take down Biandolo? I know Bug's good. Is she that good? I don't know.
I mean, I would pay to see that scrimmage 100%.
Yeah. I want to know who the other youths who would be the other like young center back with Lynn, coming at them.
It'd be Emily Mason probably.
I think they'd be up for the challenge. I don't think they would back down. I think they would be up for it. But
for sure.
I think still ultimately I'm putting my money on Lynn. I hope that's what you were asking. Mongolian barbecue.
You can always somewhere where you follow them on social media that they're available on social media, you could put that out there and maybe they'll do that at practice and can send us a result.
I'm sure they'll do that just for us. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for the hot takes segment. We got some other happenings in WOSO. We did want to talk about the Europe stuff, but I think we got that covered thanks to Steve. The Houston Dash are for sale. Seems like they're just trying to make money.
Yeah.
I'm a little like bummed out by it just because I think they've gotten a lot of interesting acquisitions, and knowing what happened with the rain and how that took a toll on players. I think it's kind of a bummer to know that that's kind of something that they're going to be going through.
Yeah, and that came out I think like the day that preseason started for them, or the day before. It was a really terrible time to announce that. So hopefully things are better behind the scenes than they were for us.
I mean, I don't know. It's Texas, so
Probably not.
It's probably worse. Other thing, our favorite Michelle Betos has retired officially. Maybe we can try to get her on the show now that she's no longer going to be a competitor in at least the player sense, because she's joining the coaching staff at Gotham.
Yeah,
which is good.
Good for her.
Yeah, they also need someone like her, I would say, in times like this. So, you want to go over the next few pieces? We have news.
Something good happened for Casey Stoney.
She deserves it. It's the least.
After she very much deserved it. She was announced as the new head coach of the Canadian women's national team.
Hopefully she's not into drones.
Fingers crossed.
I don't get drone vibes from her.
No, I don't either.
And also like the weather for Canada and her outfits, well suited.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Spot on. Hopefully that's good for them. I mean, they went from one female head coach to another, so
there's all the drama and shit with Bev, but Canada, they've always been kind of punching above their weight, I feel like. So for them to have an actual good coach, I think that it'll be really good for those players.
Yeah. And she might be able to find talent that's been overlooked in the new Canadian League.
And then your last bit of news on this.
My favorite piece of news out of this week. There's going to be a new team for women in the 7v7 TST summer tournament, and that is Solo FC. Hope Solo coming out of retirement.
That's right. I know a lot of people are not fans of her for reasons that are very logical and very validated.
I live for the chaos.
So this will be interesting.
Maybe not for the team at the end. It sounded pretty fraught.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what kind of energy she's bringing to the team.
I mean, and she's kind of been, other than that Netflix series that I did not watch.
Did you watch it?
No, I didn't watch it.
Oh, that's weird.
My mom watched it and she's like, you gotta watch this.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I was like,
I know everything.
No, it's not that I know everything. I don't need to expand my image in my head that I have of her. I know enough. I know it's not great.
Yeah. What I think is the funniest part of this, was it Susie that pointed this out? But like it, if we somehow get the matchup of Solo FC versus US Men's National Team, just like the names alone is just so like, ooh, what a matchup. Because it kind of has been Hope Solo just didn't she like try to stop the equal pay stuff?
Well, she had a separate lawsuit.
That's right. But to not get equal pay.
It was for a different reason.
Oh.
But they blamed that for holding up the equal pay lawsuit.
Got it. She's a wild card for sure.
I know, and I just love it so much.
You sent me that video it was the Chapel Roan song. What was that song? What's the I gotta find the song. I don't know her
video.
So Van sent me this TikTok video, and it was like showing Hope Solo. It was like clips of Hope Solo. I think maybe also Carly Lloyd.
No, it's just Hope Solo.
I feel like there was Peter, but it might have just been because Carly Lloyd was on the team at the same time. Anyways, so it's these weird like montage of like Hope Solo and stuff, and it's playing to the song of My Kink is Karma, which if you don't know the lyrics to My Kink is Karma, let me pull up some of the lyrics.
I found it.
We can't play it on the show. We're gonna get in trouble if we play it on the show. So the lyrics, it was like
it is Carly Lloyd on it too, but I just blocked that out with my brain.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you were fixated on Hope Solo. It was people say I'm jealous, but my kink is watching you ruin your life. You losing your mind, you dyeing your hair. So that's just the gist, some of the lyrics from that song.
Crashing your car.
It was a very unhinged video for Van to send me, but it also has like hundreds of thousands of likes, I'm pretty sure.
97.5 thousand.
Okay, so almost 100,000 likes. If people
The comments are turned off.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to everybody who really hates Hope Solo. That's just, we grew up on her so much.
I will say this, it's always good to have a villain.
It makes it more interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know well, I do know who the current villain is. We all know who the current villain is. Think about it. She hates the gays. She hates the gays. Come on. She hates Rapino too.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I mean, I would prefer not to have that, but it is what it is. Anyways, I think that's pretty much it that we got for WOSO. Do you got anything else?
No.
I got a couple shout outs. I think maybe you got one too. I wanted to shout out Skylar Diggins Smith. Please bring this energy back to the Storm. She's been playing on Unrivaled. If you don't know about Unrivaled and you're like a women's basketball fan, I mean, I'm sure you do know about it, but they're undefeated, her team, and she's gotten 4-game winners, which like there's always a game winner. Like the way that these games work are kind of weird. But she's gotten 4-game winners, which is just crazy. And
incredible.
She also looks like she's having the time of her fucking life.
They all do. It looks great.
All do. Yeah, I'm like really hoping that all of the vibes that they're getting from this like tournament are brought back to the WNBA because it just looks like they're all having so much fun.
Yeah. Speaking of like team shakeups, the Storm are getting one right now. Jewel Lloyd out, going to Vegas. NECA re-signed though.
That was huge. I wasn't
sure
it was
huge.
And then we've got the second pick at the draft now. Which
so someone please pass up Paige Becker.
Yeah, if they can get Paige Beckers, I'm gonna lose my mind. Absolutely lose my mind. I was hoping maybe they would get Courtney Vandersloot back. She's a free agent, but she's going back to Chicago.
Makes sense.
The other thing I wanted to shout out, gotta get my hat on for this. We got Beyonce. Gotta shout out Beyonce. I'm sure she doesn't get enough shout outs. She is the first Black woman to win Country Album of the Year for the Grammys. And she also won Album of the Year for the Grammys, which is her first ever one, which is crazy because this is probably her 4th best album, at least. But, she did it finally. She finally did it. So congrats to her. As a big Beyonce fan, I'm very happy. That's my shout outs. You got anything?
I want to shout out a UNC basketball player that's playing right now.
Oh, God. Not this.
Her name is Treyana Crisp. As a fellow Crisp myself, it's been a pleasure being a fan of hers. I hope she makes it to the W so I can get a jersey. I would also like to shout out, I am throwing a birthday party for my cat this month.
Oh my God.
On the 23rd, on Sunday, February 23rd, 3 p.m. at Triceratops Brewing in Tumwater.
Oh, everyone's invited.
Everyone's invited.
All right.
If you're in the Olympia area, come hang out. My cat will be there. We'll be having a pint.
If you do go, you will be shocked how big the cat is.
Quite large.
Yeah.
I'm excited for our upcoming episodes that we've got. We got some stuff in the works.
We do. You'll find out later. I don't want to give anything away. Plus, we got to get it planned still. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for the season. I think it'll be much more interesting. All the turnover and everything. That's just inherently going to have more to talk about.
And we've got some stuff to look forward to, which is very new for us.
Indeed. Well, if you can follow us on Bluesky and Instagram. We're at Cooler Guild Pod. You can just send us an email.
We love an email.
Email is thecoolerguild@gmail.com.
I actually have to say I have a podcast that I listen to, and they started a new season, and I sent them an email.
Oh, nice.
I sent them fan mail. I titled it Straight Up Fan Mail. But please find us on our main website, soundeartheart.com/the Cooler Guild.
Go rate wherever you listen, 5 stars.
You can catch us on YouTube at some point.
Coming soon, maybe.
YouTube.com/@the Cooler Guild.
Till next time, I'm Coop.
I'm Van.
Bye.
Bye.
Avocado. I did this last time.
I think this is in like the B-roll for one of the episodes.
It is. It 100% is. And it's going to keep happening, apparently.